Hi, my name is Bonnie Barker. I'm with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and I wanted to show you another variation using front post and back post stitches. And this one I am going to call the wheat stitch, because when we complete the stitch you'll have something that looks kind of like a wheat stalk in a lot of air and crochet traditional stitches, or actually knitted stitches, and this is my attempt to mimic that stitch. Okay, just like in the honeycomb stitch, which is another video you might want to look at that's been recently posted. You're going to skip the first stitch at the beginning of each row, and you're going to skip the first 2 stitches here. So we're going to skip 1, 2, 3 stitches. We're going to wrap the needle twice. We're going to do a treble crochet and another treble crochet side by side. Okay, this is actually, this row is exactly like the honeycomb stitch. We're going to try now to work 2 front posts in these stitch, but the trick is we're going to work them behind the 2 stitches we just did here. So you're going to have to direct your needle behind those stitches and around. It's kind of like crochet calisthenics, I guess, and I apologize for that. But just like anything that's not so easy in life, you get used to it, and after a while it becomes automatic. Okay, so we've worked these 2 trebles here behind these 2. Okay, now the next section is easier. We're going to skip 2 stitches, and we're going to treble crochet these 2. Oh, sorry to be so fast here. I'll slow down a little bit. I'm just doing treble crochet. Now we're going to work 2 front post treble in the 2 stitches here we skip, but we're going to work in front of these, which is much easier than working behind them. Okay, so just like in the honeycomb, we're getting this V effect here. Okay, we're going to do that again. By the way, I'm working this in a foundation of double crochets. If you want to employ this stitch in your work, okay, let me work. Now I'm working behind these 2, just like we did before, except it's not always easy to get the correct stitch. There we go. This stitch works with a multiple of 8 plus 1. And we're going to work around that stitch there. Okay, so any multiple of 8 plus 1 will put you in business with the wheat cabling. Okay, I've just worked 2 more trebles after I skipped these 2. Now this is the easy part. We're going to work these 2 in front of the last 2 trebles, and we're working treble crochets around the 2 posts that we skipped. Okay, here's your turning chain. Don't work in an individual loop, but I just do a double crochet going into the entire hole created by that turning chain. Okay, we're going to chain 2. This row, just like the honeycomb, we're going to work double crochet, not treble crochet, but back post double crochet, and we're going to work them straight across. Okay, we're not going to cross anything, we're not going to skip anything. We're just going to work the double crochet straight across. Okay, let me get across the row and I'll show you. See, I'm not skipping any stitches here. There's a little bit of a gap here, but that's okay, because just do the next stitch. Okay, 4 more to go. Always make sure that you end up with a multiple of 8 plus 1 at the end of the row, or else you're going to have some problems when you get to the next step of the stitch. Okay. Okay, I've done all the back post double crochet. Now I have the chain 3. I'm going to do a half double crochet there because that will be about the same height as doing a back post double crochet. Okay, I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to turn. Now we're going to do the exact same thing that we did on the first row of this. Okay, we're going to skip the first one here, which is really like the turning chain. We're going to skip the first 2 and we're going to treble. Front post treble. Okay, again, this is the difficult part. We make sure we work behind the trebles that you just made, but yet we're still doing front post treble crochet. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to skip the next 2 and treble crochet in the next 2 stitches. And we're going to work our next 2 front post trebles in front of the last 2 that we just did. Okay. Let me stop here and show you what we're doing here. So it's really, you know, you have 2 cables that are twisting away from each other. We'll do the next one. We're going to skip 2 and we're going to treble, front post treble over the next 2 stitches. Hope I'm not moving around too much. I'm trying to keep it in the center of the screen here. Okay, now we're working behind the back. We're working front post, but we're working behind the 2 trebles that we just did here. And it's good too, you can use your sense of touch. At least that's what I like to do, and use my thumb and my finger to direct where my needle goes. It's a multi-sensory experience here when you're crocheting. Okay, we're skipping 2. And we're going to treble in these 2 here. Easy part, we're going to work 2 trebles in front of the last 2 over the double crochets there. Okay, and we're going to double crochet in the turning hole there, turning chain. Okay, so far I'm going to work another row. Again, chain 2, turn. Again, this is the row. We just work double crochet, back post double crochet straight across. Okay. I'm going to complete this row and a couple of others, and then I will show you my swatch after I return. Okay, I've completed a few more patterns, a few more rows of this pattern. I just wanted to show you a little bit how this looks. Okay, if I can hold my hand over one part, you can kind of see that this does look somewhat like a wheat stalk. Or just use your imagination. And you know, it makes quite an interesting pattern putting them side by side. You can even vary it, like I have in some of my designs, where you can put the wheat beside the honeycomb and kind of mix it up. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this stitch. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.